So it's 2025 and you want to launch a new small art business, but sadly you're broke. Don't worry, I've been there before. And I'm going to give you some advice on how you can start a new small art business with practically no money, pretty much £0. Before we start, welcome to Eggys Planet. I'm Steph, and I recently launched a new small business this summer after running my first small business full time for about 4 to 5 years. I started off my first small art business with no money whatsoever, £0. And this video is going to tell you how I did that. If you're willing to wait and you have the patience, you can start off your own small business with practically no money whatsoever. Disclaimer, I'm just a girl. I'm not a professional business person. Even though I'm wearing a turtleneck, I know it's deceptive, but I just want to give you some food for thought, as I always do. You can pick and choose what advice to take, if any, but it's something people don't really talk about. So let's get started with the video. I think most videos you see on YouTube talking about how to start a new small art business mainly focus on all the things you need to get, and it can be very overwhelming, especially if you broke. You can't afford the printer, you definitely can't afford the ink. You don't have any money to invest in acrylic pins and charms and all the things that people say, oh, you need a label printer, you need this, you need that before you start a small business. Of course, these things are ideal. If you can afford them, I definitely recommend going ahead just to have a smooth start. But if you're like someone who's really struggling financially and that's stopping you from launching your first small business, but you have people asking about your art perhaps, or you have a small following and you have some interest, people asking, oh, do you sell prints and things like that? This is what you should do, in my opinion. Snapfish. Photo printing services like Snapfish and Freeprint is what allowed me to start my first small business off of £0. This is not sponsored, I'm just trying to help you guys out. With services like Snapfish, you get 50 free prints every single month if you download the mobile app. With those 50, 49 prints, however many these services offer you, you can pretty much start with no money. What I did when I started off my small business, I would take orders via DM, and again, you don't need to have a huge massive audience. As long as you have people who are interested in buying prints, then you're good to go. And with this sort of thing, you have to be as transparent as possible. I told the customer in the DMs straight up, I'm using this money to order the prints and I take payment in advance. Of course, some people are not going to be cool with that, and that's completely fine, but some people will be willing, especially if you sell the prints for relatively cheap. Of course, you need to take into consideration things like envelopes. When you're starting out, I know it's ideal to have everything ready, your business cards, your thank you cards, cute packaging with your logo and stuff like that, but not everybody has the funds to do that, and I was one of those people. I literally just had an envelope and the prints, and I would handwrite a thank you note to everybody who ordered via DMs, and I had no complaints. I made it very clear from the start that you'd have to wait, because what I would do, I'd accumulate a bunch of orders and then I'd go and Snapfish and I'd use my 50 free prints a month, usually 4x6. I think it's usually 4x6 only that you're allowed to do, and you can order up to 50 prints of your art for free every single month, and that alone can give you enough money to start off with a shop. If you're able to sell even a couple of those free prints, you're already good to go. I know it's not ideal and that it takes a long time. You have to wait pretty much month by month to get those 50 or so prints. And of course, as always, I'm talking to artists who make their art, and that's why I don't feel like there's anything wrong with doing this whatsoever, because people are paying for your art, your hard work that you put time into designing. That being said, when I did it, I made sure I priced it accordingly. And as the quality of my prints went up and I bought my own printer and I started printing at home, the price of my prints went up. Of course, it's not easy to get orders via DM or any orders whatsoever, but if you've been able to build a community of any sort, whether you have 500 followers or 10,000 followers, there will be a sense of trust, and people will be willing to pay that £7 for that print and delivery. And that's when you're going to start thinking about shop platforms. As always, I do recommend platforms like Shopify. I have a whole video on that. So if you want to check that out and see why I'm not really for Etsy, then give it a watch. But you can also go with Etsy, because that's a good starting point if you've never had a small business before. At least it used to be. More on that if you watch a video. I took orders via DMs for like 4x6 prints, and then I would use that money to go and pay for delivery on Snapfish and get those 50 free monthly prints. And like I always say, it's the long game. You have to be willing to be patient. You have to use that to your advantage as someone who doesn't have much money to invest in small business before they start. If you have a little bit of change, you can either preemptively order prints so that you have stock for your shop, and maybe if you want to spread it over a couple months, that's like 200 or more prints that you have for your shop. Before we move on, I just want to take a moment to plug my Patreon like I always do. This time around, please hear me out. I've changed up my monthly sticker club. I want to do like monthly sticker sheets, and now that I got my Hobonichi and I'm journaling, I really want more stickers to use. So I'm doing like deco and journal stickers that I think are really cute. If you just want to like see what I've got going on, you can join as a free member too. But I'd really love more people joining my sticker club, because I'm really gonna like make such cute sticker sheets, and I want more people to have them. For this month only, on my Patreon sticker club and my Moss Mail club, you'll also get a freebie sticker along with the sticker sheet. It's a big 2025 goal of mine to grow my Patreon. So if you're interested, I have a sticker club and I have a print club, and I will soon be doing digital rewards as soon as I figure out exactly how to do it. Speaking of digital rewards, digital goods are another way you can start a new small business with no money. The reason I'm not talking about this as much is because I have not done this before. I've seen it done, but digital goods are not my expertise. I will say I do see people selling like digital coloring pages, things like wallpapers or like icons for desktop, things like that. I can't speak too much on digital products. If you spend a while making digital products and then you spend £1 for the first month of Shopify it, then you have a month to kind of make some money for following months. And I know it's like, but I want to make polymer clay charms, but I want to do this and I want to make enamel pins and everything like that. But with this sort of thing, when you don't have money, you just have to slowly build up. That's honestly where I'm at right now for Eggys Planet. I never had much money to launch Eggys Planet or to launch my first small business. Thankfully for Eggys Planet, I did have my printer and my Cricut machine. My first small business in 2020, I had nothing. I didn't even have envelopes. I was handwriting all of my addresses. I used any money I made from people paying in advance. Just like any group order, like any pre-order, there are some people who are willing to wait and others who are not. And also as long as you price it accordingly. I never had any complaints. I was getting prints off of Snapfish for several months until I was able to like launch on Etsy. I spent money on my listing fees. I didn't even have the physical images of the prints. I just had the digital artworks as listings, and people would order and I would get 5 stars. But like, one thing I would say before I end this video, if you do order from companies like Snapfish, they usually give you a choice between glossy and matte. I really would recommend going for the matte version. It has a much better quality to me than the glossy, but glossy to me just looks like normal photo paper, whereas matte has like this really nice satin finish that I love. As soon as I had enough money, my first big investment was a printer. And from then on, I was like, okay, I'm gonna order sticker paper, and I would print and just hand cut all of my stickers. You slowly have to make your way up from no money, then investing the little you have back into your business, whether that's by ordering prints in advance, whether that's by investing and saving for things like a printer or things that will make the process more easy. You don't have to have everything sorted and ready from the very beginning. I think that's one thing that really stops people from launching a small business. They feel like they just don't have the money to have everything. And people say, okay, well, I need business cards, I need thank you cards, I need branding, I need a printer, I need packaging, I need all these things. I started off with £0. As soon as I got a little bit of money from ordering via DMs, I would order envelopes and I would handwrite thank you notes, and I had no complaints. You have to have reasonable expectations. It may take a while before you have enough money to really make your business what you want it to be, but I know there are a lot of people who feel they want to make a small business, they want to do all these things, they have the art, you've drawn these beautiful drawings on Procreate, and now you don't know what to do because you have no money. Start off small with prints and build your way up. As soon as you make a bit of money, invest back into your business. You have to play the long game. You don't have the money to start off with all the things people say you need. Perhaps you feel there's no point starting because you can't afford all these things. 53 prints is enough to start a new small business. And I know it sounds crazy, but it really, really is. I've done it myself. I had £0. I know it's like, oh, you must have a bit of money. I had £0 to invest in a small business. I had no money. Like, I was actually broke. The one thing I did have was interest. People liked my art. And as soon as I figured out that I can actually get 50 prints for free a month, I started letting people know that I was selling 4x6 prints, and if you're interested, you can DM me. And it may take a while to get that first person who's willing to take the risk or let me trust this person and order via DM. If you've been present on social media, you've been, commenting, replying to people, and people kind of feel like they know who you are, this will be way easier to do. You kind of accumulate all that money and all those prints, and in one go, you order all the prints that you need. And surprise, surprise, those 34x6 orders you got, you can order for free. You do have to pay for delivery, but you use a little bit of that money you made to ship those free prints to you, and you've already started making money. You will then go to Shopify or whatever platform. As soon as you can, you want to move to your own platform. You don't need to think about things like domain names straight away. Honestly, you don't. Those things can come afterwards. You do not need everything to be perfect in order to launch a small business. I know money is tight, the cost of living is going up, but I really want to encourage people to think of ways to kind of get their foot in the small business door. There's so many people who would love to own your art, would love to have your prints on the wall. Let me know if you do try the DM method or the Snapfish method. if it worked for you, if it didn't work. I'd love to know your thoughts, but I really hope this video encourages you to try and start a small business, even if you don't have the money to do so. More important than having the money to start is having the interest, and that's what you have to work on. As long as you can build up interest for your art and work hard and post on social media, then you've got this. You can definitely launch a small business in 2025 with no money, and Snapfish and free print services and DMs and digital goods are how you do it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope I gave you some food for thought. And if you're somebody who's looking to start a small business and you don't have any money, this is a way that I think can work for you. And I really hope it encourages you just to give it a go. Feel free to ask me any questions, leave any comments. Don't forget to subscribe. I am on my own art journey, trying to grow my own small business, Eggys Planet. My Sweet Dream Star collection coming this January with loads of new products. If you would like to join my journey and see if Eggys Planet grows from pretty much the bottom up, be sure to subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it or if it helped you in any way. And take care. Until next time.
Don't you